Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, it's the big detecting show.
It most certainly is.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I'm not Adrian.
Where's Adrian?
Well, unless he's gone the other way, you know.
What, the pub? Just so happy.
Yeah.
Good evening, Donna. How the devil are you?
I'm smashing, thank you, darling. All the best for seeing you.
And yourself. And yes, there were too many adverts this evening because I was struggling to do something else, Stefan. So I had to fill in by throwing an extra one or two on.
And so, I was doing the news. So I look like I've got a red chin. I haven't. I don't know what that's about. Shadows.
She has got a red chin.
No, I haven't.
She's just had a shaving rash.
That's terrible. I don't know what that is. It's not even makeup.
Shaving rash?
No idea. Anyway, it's a 2 gin night tonight because we've got a very special guest we'll introduce you to in a while.
Yes, we have. Looking forward to speaking to Alexander again. It's been a few years, so it'll be nice to catch up with him. Good evening to everybody in the chat. Donna.
Yes. Isn't that wonderful? Did you date it yet? So this is the ring that Dave found while he was on holiday, recovering. Little bit of light detecting on the beach.
Very light because you couldn't get on there because of the wind.
Tell us the story of how you found it.
Within 2 minutes of going on the beach at Porthmadog, 2 minutes, and I mean 2 minutes, lad went one way. I'd done a video to show you and Adrian where I was, and I walked 10 metres, got a signal, and it was that. And the only other things I found the entire time of being there, which I didn't do very much, to be honest, because of the weather, was a Matchbox Formula One car, which wasn't even all that because it was a bloody electric version, and 50p, which got me a load of 2p's to put in the machine.
It does put you off beach detecting. But no, what an amazing find. Your first gold, and you did it while you were recovering, and you won't forget it either.
I've got to say, though, beach detecting I absolutely despise. However, I've never before detected with the Manticore. Wow. It's so quiet. It'll obviously go off when there's stuff there, but it's so... Yeah. Normally, I just can't get the settings right. My people set it up for me, and it just will not shut up. However, the Manticore, it's a whole new ball game.
The Deus Master is very quiet on the beach as well, but I'm just not a fan. And I haven't taken the Legend out on the beach, but the Legend is supposed to be a good beach detector as well. And I know there are several detect-experts that use it on the beach.
I also had the anti-wind devices from Swing and Dig Detectorists.
And that helps.
You know from the video that I sent to you, it was blowing an absolute gale. It was 45 miles per hour at least every day. And they were fine. Yeah. I could obviously hear the wind, but...
Well, have you got a picture that I sent you of a little silver dog? Can I tell a story? No. It was a week ago. It's a long time. So I was...
It was a long date on it.
I'll make it short. I was at Sam Carnival, and we talked to lots of people. We interact with lots of people, and a very lovely lady was chatting, and she owns a couple of businesses in the town. And detecting somehow came up. Not that I talked to everyone about detecting, but it somehow came up in terms of the museum and what we display. And she said, I've been looking for somebody who detects for a really long time. I've lost this little silver dog, a lurcher. And it seemed to me that she had said she didn't lose it very long ago. Anyway, I went to her very beautiful house the very next evening, so my first opportunity, and lovely grounds, didn't really want to spoil the grass at all. And luckily, third hole, I found her little silver dog. It was about 6 inches down, and as it transpired, she had lost it 10 years ago, and it was one of a pair that form a piece of artwork that their artist friend had made especially for them. So a pair of lurchers, a silver one, solid silver one, and a bronze one. And so she could reunite the pair. And for 10 years, that piece of art has been hidden so that their very good friend who made it for her didn't know that she'd lost the other partner. So isn't that a lovely story? And she was so happy. She hugged me and cried. And out of that, I've got permission to detect and do archaeology on her medieval moat. Fantastic. Hey, one good turn. But she was absolutely thrilled. And we sat and had a glass of wine together in her, we'd say, billiard room. Not everyone has one of those.
Yeah. This is why this posh voice has come on instead of the normal fishwife edition.
I've got my English heritage voice on. I'm trying to be very sensitive and coherent for Alexander, because otherwise he won't understand me if I ramble. Anyway,
he's got to speak to me.
Can we please thank? Yes, can't even talk. Can we please thank last week's guest, James Barnes, and he was great last week. Really good, really interesting, and hopefully we'll get him on again because he did have a big tray of finds to show us. So hopefully we'll get him on again, and we'll do finds top trumps. That would be a good thing to do. That would be a fun thing to do. And thank you to Gary for coming on with his RCM news. And I haven't seen anything yet, but it's about to drop. So anyone interested in buying RCM tickets, keep your eyes peeled on your emails, phone, computer, whatever. Check it every single morning before you go to work through the day. And at some point in time, those announcements will come up. Dave, your news, you wrote a song.
Forgot about that. Got to put it to music, yeah.
Dave wrote a big detecting show song, so that's something to look forward to. So for our detecting news, we've got Tony Kaywood's Metal Detecting News channel. But your friend, Ricardo's friend, found a beautiful Bronze Age gold bracelet, didn't he?
No, not Ricardo's friend. He's one of our detecting buddies. Comes out with Shane, myself, Steve, Ricardo, Ron, and Ben. He went to a dig at the name of the group, Shrewsbury and Shropshire Metal Detecting Club, near Ellesmere last weekend, and he's only been detecting less than 6 months, brand new to the hobby. Mine Lab Vanquish 540, 3 o'clock in the afternoon-ish, and pulled up an absolutely stunning Bronze Age gold bracelet. Absolutely stunning. Did mean to pick
we got a photo of it.
I will have in a moment. I forgot.
Absolutely stunning. I think it's always interesting how people beginning in the hobby are the ones who tend to find the gold, and I think we're too picky. I think we're too picky with our signals. Maybe Alexander will have something to say about that. In other news, while Dave's getting the picture up, there was a coin hoard of 29 Roman denarius declared in Wales. Cornish Paz have taken a post-medieval gold posy ring and a really nice commemorative gold coin to the coroner. And a beautiful Anglo-Saxon pendant found near Pocklington is to go on display near Pocklington. Look at that, isn't it stunning? And I love those turned out terminals. Fantastic. I mean, his heart must have been racing. What a beautiful photo.
I don't think he realised what he had. And obviously he spoke to Ricardo, and there you go.
I was going to say, after Ricardo picked himself up off the floor.
So if you go onto the Big Detecting Show Facebook group and scroll yourself down, you'll find all the images that are on there. So well done to Liam for that. Hopefully we're going to get him on in the next week or two to discuss the find. Got a bit of a plan, haven't I, for a few shows? So
we have got a bit of a plan. Yeah, are you off next week?
No,
I've got you down as AWOL.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm not off now till
you haven't checked the
late
calendar.
July.
Clearly. You haven't checked the calendar.
I don't know where your calendar is. Let's bring on tonight's guest, who's Stood up. There he is. We nearly caught him on his
Thank
microscope.
God, Alexander, you saved us.
Do my nails.
You brought that on to have a look at Donna's chin, hadn't you?
Hang on.
I literally
Do you know
don't
what?
know
It's
what
a
it is.
handy piece of kit. It's not the best glass in the world, but it sits really nicely there, and I can bring it in and all the stuff on my desk and everything, and it really does a job, and you're not going to lose it. It's not going anywhere.
I've got
I've
one.
got exactly the same one myself.
Have you?
I've got
Exactly
one
the same. Was given to the club that I was chairman of years ago. The person left, never heard or seen sight or sound of him again, so it's left with me. So it's loosely the club's. When we meet and what have you, I always take it down to the meetings, and yeah, it's fantastic and actually takes good photographs through it as well.
Oh, does it? I haven't tried that.
Does it? I haven't tried mine.
You don't really need to nowadays with all the macro lenses and such like on the iPhones, but it's brilliant.
Yeah, my phone isn't so good, but I've only got an old Android. So, Alexander, welcome to the show for your second time.
Very nice to be back.
I did watch your first show this morning. I heard it on audio before, but I never saw the video.
How long ago was it?
It was. Oh, I wrote
Jeez.
it down. I did write it down on my piece of paper.
Come on,
it
Donna.
Was,
I rely on you for
it's
these
on my
dates
piece of
and
paper.
things.
Donna, I've written it down in case I forgot. What's doing archaeology? You said they're going to let you do archaeology.
Oh, I run an amateur archaeologist group. So I was trained through. So I'm an academic historian. I was trained through English Heritage. In archaeology, but I've done archaeology in every aspect of my master's as well. So, but I run a museum project in Soham in Cambridgeshire, which we don't have a museum. It's what they call a living history museum. We have a massive collection, but we do loads of outreach. So we do exhibitions and things like that, but then loads and loads of outreach in the community, and archaeology is one of those. So we actually do actual archaeology.
You said do.
We do. We love saying that. We do archaeology because a lot of archaeology groups are just talking groups, but we take anyone who wants to come out and we train them on the job. We're professionally trained and we're actually mentored by Oxford Archaeology East. So they keep an eye on us, but we have to do proper recording, proper reporting. In fact, we have to do it to a higher standard than the actual archaeologists, believe it or not. So, but yeah, so we're going to be hopefully anytime we want to dig in a cross section across this moat and having a look to see how big it is and how deep it goes. We're insured up to a couple of meters, but I think it's going to be deeper than that. So. But yeah. So that's what I do. I do this kind of stuff in any kind of avenue I can get to it through. So whether it's writing or finding or anyway, you're not here to talk about me. You're here to talk about
I was just going to say, Donna, don't forget to let Alexander speak to you.
So Alexander, you've been detecting for 15 years.
Yeah, probably would be near enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got down, you started with your your basic and then went on to your Ace 250 and then fell in love with the Deus 1, and I think I slightly mentored you through your Deus 2 transition where you're having a bit of a mare getting it to settle down and getting used to it.
It was looking back on that. I did one video after about a month where I had a proper rant about it, and the amount of people who got to me and went, don't slag the Deus off, you shouldn't do this and you should do that, give it some time. And to a degree, they were right. But it more than that, it pointed out what I honestly believe. I think there's more brand loyalty in metal detecting than any other hobby. People get so upset if you... I just stay out of the arguments of Minelab, XP and all that. I've never owned a Minelab. I don't know what they like, but they seem to get a very, very good press and people adore them. And I'm quite happy to let that be the case. But the amount of sort of friction that goes on, if you actually, when I was saying, God, I'm fed up with this machine, I'm about to break it over my knee, I've had enough, people got really cross.
Do you know
there was
what,
a lot
though?
of, don't slag the dais off. You shouldn't be doing this. I thought, well, how can I say what I like about a metal detector?
Yes, you
It's
can.
up
Yes, you
to
can.
me.
Because I think the Deus 2, when it came out, I mean, I've got a Nux, so I went from the Nux 800 to the Deus Master. So I've got the same setup as you, but I've got a 9-inch coil.
Yeah.
And I wanted something really lightweight that I could go out and, you know, do stubble with, just do really difficult sites with, or something that I could just be out with for a really long time, because the Nux is reasonably heavy when it's got the big coil on it. And I found that transition to the Deus 2 quite challenging, because it runs quite hot. It's quite sparky until you get used to it. I mean, I whacked the sensitivity down quite a lot when I started with it, and then gradually have built up my tolerance to it so that I can run it a little bit hotter now. But I think that, yeah, you're right, people do get a little bit one team or the other, but I mean, that's sometimes
I do feel that the sort of XP Minelab tend to come out on top, and the experienced detectorists who, I mean, let's just for argument's sake say Manticore versus Deus 2.
Yeah.
I mean, the Manticore does seem to be, I mean, I mainly follow the information I get from the detecting hub, and there's some very experienced people on there. And those who have used both, I think, more tend to veer towards the Manticore than the other way around. But I do think, I mean, I love the Deus. I hate to say it, I've hardly used the Deus 1 since having the Deus 2, but I honestly don't think there's much on agricultural land. I think the Deus 2 in pasture, if you know what to look out for, I think is definitely a smarter machine.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But it never,
it's
ever
deep,
shouts at you. It's just, it's looking out for those still. I mean, I don't tinker around with it too much. I like the settings I've got, and I have to listen hard. But it's still those tiny, tiny, tiny signals that you can be fairly sure aren't iron. That I think is the real thing with that machine. Now, I don't know what that, I mean, from what I've heard, if you had a Manticore, it'd be going at you. But whether, I think I could probably ramp up the sensitivity and do all sorts of things with the Deus to make the audio stronger. But that brings with it so many other problems. I'm prepared to keep it nice and gentle and really listen out with those earbuds for tiny non-ferrous signals. And that's what I like.
I think the reactivity with the Deus 2 probably is a lot quicker to the Nux. It is a lot quicker.
It's recovery.
Yeah. So when you go over a signal, you're kind of on it. You have to sort of step back a bit with the Nux and check. But I find I do that when I take my Nux out. I go back and check the signal whereby with the Deus, I'm like, yeah, straight away I've got it. I know where I am, and I mean I love both my machines. I like my Nux.
Do you use both? Have you got Minelab and XP?
Yeah, and I mean, you have to walk over a find, don't you? And when you look at so if you look at Treasure Hunting magazine and you look at the finds page, readers' finds, the amount of things that are deeper than, say, 6 inches are very few. Most people are finding stuff within the 4 to 6 inches range, some up to 8 inches. I mean, I've had signals at 18 inches easy with the Did you want to go, darling?
Sorry, what?
The Vortex.
I was putting a hat on.
Is anyone going to shout out for the Vortex? I mean, I love my legend.
I've got a question. I've got a question for Alexander. Mr. Adrian Gaylor says, "What's Alexandra's favourite egg dish?"
I like boiled eggs.
So do
I. I love boiled eggs, and I follow my father's advice that you never have to time them because they can never be hard enough. So just leave them on until.
Oh, bullets! No.
I've had boiled egg and brown sauce butties for tea.
Yeah, nice.
Dippy egg and soldiers, I think.
No,
they
want any uncooked egg white. Tesky, come here.
Have you got the new HF2 coil? Oh, sorry. He's got the new HF2 coil and he absolutely loves it.
Adrian has.
Yeah.
Oh.
He said it's like carrying a stick. There's just no weight to it at all.
Oh,
And
really?
it's perfectly balanced and finding things.
Finding tiny bits of ledge
Alexander,
drop.
you can put your name down for that on the Regton site.
Come here.
So if you're interested in a HF2 coil, I keep thinking of HS2 when I say that, but if you're thinking of getting one for the dais, it'll fit the master as well. It'll fit any dais. You can actually register an interest and be one of the first people to get one if you're interested. So I know that because I spoke to Regton last week. We gave that shout out last week, didn't we? I think I might put my name out. They don't know what the pricing is going to be yet, though, and they don't know when they're going to be shipped. They're in beta testing at the moment. So, so your last video then, Alexander, you had 2nd century Roman enamelled disc brooch.
Yes, got that here.
You had an Edward I Irish penny.
Yeah.
You had a piece of cruciform brooch, and you had a Saxon stirrup mount. I mean, how's that for a
That's
video?
a really, really interesting field. It's a field which it banks on to it's not the main river, but it's a waterway off the main river, which has always, well, it's been there for a very long time. It's very, very flat. It's like floodplain. But the arable field on the far side of it, which is slightly raised, is very good for Roman. And hang on, can I just let my dog outside? Hang on.
Yeah, sure. Did you watch his last video, Dave?
No, not yet.
Oh, incredible.
It's a little bit of partial that I feel that the majority of finds look like, I haven't checked on the old map, but it feels like if there was going to be a crossing, that's where it would have gone into the Roman section of a very flat field on the other side. And then about half a mile up from that field, right at the top of a hill, is definitely a Roman settlement of sorts. And if you pick the shortest route between where I think the Roman settlement was and the Roman part of the field on the far side of the river, that's where all these bits have come. And I reckon it's because people have just been channeled to that point.
Well, you imagine that you've got a lot of people together, they're channeled together or whatever. So if they're going to a market, there's horses rearing up, people falling off, the horses don't want to go through the water. I mean, maybe you've got it's in flood a little bit and things are getting washed away, so you probably have a decent scatter of very interesting finds. Do you ever do map research for the fields that you look at? Yeah, I
do, but I'm very it's definitely not the be all and end all. And where I am in Hertfordshire, on a neighbouring farm to where I grew up, is a field with a very, very good Roman settlement on it. I mean, it has to be a fort of sorts. I mean, it's been detected on for decades by people. There's very little on it now, but the odd bit does turn up, and there's glass and pottery all over the place. And if you look on the maps and on LiDAR, there's absolutely nothing showing. No wall, no sort of area, no disturbance of land. It's completely flat, and that's not just normal LiDAR. That's LiDAR going through QGIS, where you can play around with the light and all the rest of it. And I've tried every single angle, and then nothing comes up on it at all. So that's one side of it. And then you'll have a field which has loads and loads of interesting things, and what looks like a track going from A to B, and all the rest of it. And you won't find anything on it. So. Definitely do research if you've got the time and the energy and you want to, but it shouldn't put you off going to a field, and it certainly shouldn't get you too excited either, quite honestly.
I think map work is good if you're looking at an area and you really don't know where to start asking for permissions. It's a good way to guide yourself to somewhere that might be fairly decent or where there might be activity. But
for sure.
I mean, when they did the A14, so they did the A14 widening and they changed all the routes around Cambridge. So I'm only just near Ely. I'm not very far away. They did LiDAR. They LiDAR surveyed. They brought up all the features they found on that. They geophysed and did mag and all kinds of things. I think they found 27 sites that didn't come up on any of that, and they were really important sites. So there were sites all the way.
Really, how interesting. And the other day I was looking at a new field and I found 3 really, really nice little round hutty type things, and one was there, one was a bit off it there, and then a little bit further up was another one. I got really excited about it, and it turned someone out. I put it on the detecting hub, just asking, "What do you think of this?" And someone said it might be telegraph poles, and it was a really old telephone. They put up a post there, and they hadn't been used. Nothing had gone round it for years. And it had just given the impression of a really unusual...
But it can be a cattle feeder. I mean, I did a survey when I was down at Amesbury doing archaeology in the Stonehenge landscape. I was asked to go and do a survey of a field down there. And there was a huge, it looked exactly like a ring ditch. And
it was cattle.
I couldn't work it out. And actually, one of the old farm boys came across and said, "Oh, that's where the cattle feeder used to be." Yeah. Because you could see it on the ground, and it just wore the ground away. So beware. I mean, we do everything.
Well, and likewise, I'm sure I'm not. I mean, I won't say every good find, but the odd find, really good find I've had, and actually, I think in two of the gold staters I found in an area of field where I found absolutely nothing else. I mean, nothing. No Georgian coins, no post-medieval buckles, nothing. In acres and acres and acres, and yet you get the one thing. And why is that there? Who knows? There's nothing else around it at all. So,
and we can't answer those questions. So that brings me to the question that you couldn't answer on Spin the Quill. And I have forewarned you that I'm going to ask.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I still can't think of it. Because like everyone, I find barking stuff that I've got to a stage. I've got so many bowls full of buttons and buckles or vessels. I've in my old age, I'm getting a bit more disciplined about what I throw away. And if something isn't really exciting, if something's very out of the ordinary, but not particularly good, I do tend to bin it these days.
Do you really?
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of things I won't bin. I mean, but if it's modern and a bit rubbishy, I won't keep it just because it's interesting.
Yeah, see, I am a bit...
But I mean, look here. I mean, these are all sorts of buckles and coins and stuff. I mean, I don't throw anything away which is old, but if it's in the last 100 years or so, however interesting it is, it's just not really my period.
I wouldn't throw it away. What we do is I collect things up, and then when we do an open farm Sunday, I actually look after... I don't know if you've heard of G's, they're a big farming concern that supplies supermarket with fresh veg, but they're huge. But I look after their owners' own personal collection of artifacts, what they find on the land. And he does Open Farm Sunday, and we show his collection along with the museum collection at the Open Farm Sunday, and we do giveaways. So we do children's competitions. And I think one of them, I was cleaning up a load of Roman coins, and there were loads that I just couldn't get clean. They were the grottiest grots. There was nothing on them.
I won't throw those away, Donna.
We bagged them up. We actually bagged them up. But you can do the same with Victorian pennies or anything like that. But we bagged them up, and we gave a little certificate of authenticity. And we had a bag of sweets, a huge stack of lollipops, and a huge stack of these coins. And the kids would ask to choose when they did the competition which they would like, and most of them went for the Roman coin, which that was fantastic. Really, really good. So anyone out there who's got any finds that they just bin, we can always give them away, and it helps to keep young people interested in history.
Good.
Yeah, anyway, so you didn't find, so what we were just talking about, ladies and gentlemen, was your most random find. And it is a tough question, Alexander, so I'll forgive you for not being able to answer that. Now, you have some excellent permissions, and we've talked about that. And I know a lot of people are really envious of your permissions. But I mean, obviously, you know, you've been detecting for a while. You know people who own land. It's who you know in a lot of cases. But you've started to branch out now. And I mean, the one thing is your videos are classy. Everyone says that. You are probably one of the most professional presenters on YouTube. You know, there are a few really good people out there, but you really do a brilliant job. But you bring us back into your world, into your what you call HQ, and you are very educational about what you do find. You know, you make that land work for you, and you bring your finds back to the studio, and you share those with people, your knowledge. I mean, you must have a brilliant reference collection. Tell us about that.
No, I don't actually. I've got a few coin books. I've got a few Roman coin books, which are not particularly good reference books, but they're fun reading. And I've got a bit of a brooch book, and I've got the visual catalogue of Hatat's 4 brooch books.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you'll find in this country which isn't in here.
No.
It is, but you have, but it's finding the 4 books. I mean, I think they're in print. I mean, well, I'm not sure if they're in print or not, but they're
not in print.
Yeah, nice. That looks like is that Iron Age?
Yeah. Isn't it beautiful?
Ooh. Yeah, lovely. Yeah. Okay. Well,
I said first century as well.
Well, this is all his brooches. This is the drawings of all the collection that he's got, but it's a brilliant reference book. There's not much, and after that, I do. Well, I've got the ABC book of coins. I mean, of ancient coins there, and I've got one of your things here.
One of my things. Oh, the jewelry book. That's just such a nice book. It's
hard. It's not the best reference, but it's lovely to look through.
Yeah. But you've got
things. I mean, fascinating.
And they smell nice.
I love this. I've got mine down here somewhere. I love the smell of the new book.
But it's so. I mean, the internet has made our research a hell of a lot easier. Yeah. And love them or hate them, the Portable Antiquities scheme site is quite good for just checking it out.
I find the search function a little bit clicky. Do you use them much, Dave?
Yeah, the search function's absolutely appalling. I was looking for something the other week, and it took me ages to get there. I had to faff about through Google to get there in the end. But yeah, I use it quite regularly.
So what did you find, and what was your search?
Can't remember now. I was on holiday and I was bored, so I was faffing through the site one afternoon. I can't even remember what I was trying to look for, but it was just really, really. But at the same time, how many millions of artifacts have they got on there?
Too bloody many. That's the problem. I think if you've got a good spink and you've got your ABC, how the hell you even start with Roman coins? Just look. There's 2 or 3 really good online websites, depending on what age of coin that you're looking for.
Mine's downstairs, but there is a really good
Donna,
there's a series of Roman coins.
Donna,
yes, darling.
I'm putting you on mute.
Okay.
Putting you on
we
mute.
didn't do hellos in the chat, by the way.
You're having a timeout.
That's fine.
Sit in a timeout chair. So you're talking about Roman coins and such like. Obviously, I know that you've dealt with Graham Dempsey, the composite cleaning pencil.
Yep.
And you've used his range of products. How have you done with them?
Well, do you know what? Interestingly, he sent me very recently the diamond one. Have you had a go with that yet?
Yeah.
I have decided I almost now exclusively use the brass. I don't really bother with the other ones. I think if you're careful with this and you keep it really sharp, and I've got a honing stone which I'm sharpening it up the whole time, I think the brass one's brilliant. I think the brown and the white one can be a bit scratchy, as can this. But if you're careful with that, and you keep a really sharp point, and you've got that on the go, I mean, I think that's all you need, quite honestly. And he's gonna be. I owned up to this. I thought, how am I gonna? I can't keep bothering Graham for just the brass bits, and I don't want to buy the whole set again just for the brass bits. So I looked up online and I found brass rods of the same sort of thing. So I bought a load of those and a sharpening thing, and for some reason they were scratched through everything. So I rang up Graham and said, look, I'm really sorry. I have actually tried to find something else which is better brass than yours. And he said we wouldn't tell me what they were, quite rightly, but he very kindly sent me a load of these, which I can keep sharpening up. And for some reason, the quality of Graham's brass is like it's better than anything. Well, it's better than the ones I tried to buy more cheaply, put it that way. So stick with Graham's brass, and you can't go wrong. What it's made of?
I like the little brass chisel scraper that you can just flick the little bits.
I haven't tried this. I've got them, but I'll give this a go.
Works really well.
But there's certain where I am, the sandy soil of some of these Roman coins. I mean, some of it's like cement, and not even. I mean, I'm having trouble with the diamond one to get through some of the crud on some of these coins. That one, for example, it's absolutely solid. Yeah, it's not going to focus on the coin. It's going to focus on.
Have you tried doing the rusty nails and lemon juice trick?
What, on Roman stuff?
Yeah, when you've got a coin like that where you really can't remove that. So as long as it's not copper alloy that's breaking up.
No, it's not. It's cement on top of the coin. Yeah.
So when you've got that cement, there are two things, and whether you should use them or whether you shouldn't. But if the coin is near buggered anyway, and it's the only way to remove it, I soak in Viacal, because Viacal will not remove the patina from stainless steel, so it won't remove the patina from the bronze.
Right.
If that doesn't work, so you do have to keep checking it. Don't leave it more than half an hour. If that and dilute it, don't use it nearly. But there's a really good trick, and you can actually get horn silver off silver coins like that as well. So you put your coin between two rusty nails and then fill that up to the level over your coin with lemon juice. But it must be actual lemon juice, not squeezy lemon juice. Yeah. And then you should be able to start picking it off. But again,
really? Okay, I'll try that.
You have to keep an eye on
it. You can always try my old favourite, a hammer and a chisel. If you use Graham's little coin holder, hammer and chisel. Make sure it's tight, clamped to the desk, and then a hammer and chisel. You'd be right.
Get at it. With these brass things, and I've said that on my videos several times, there are certain things that you can really boss a bit of crud with these and not be too worried about it. Test the coin first. If the coin's soft, if that bronze has gone all soft, there's no hope. The coin itself has got to be in fairly good condition if you're going to smash away at it with one of these. But I think that's the tool you need, the brass bit.
Yeah, I mean, I've managed to. We were on Cambridgeshire clay, which goes like concrete, and I've managed to recover so many coins using those methods. And I use composite cleaning pencil. And
you've got to be in the right mood, Donna, haven't you? You've got to be in a very patient mood because it's slow work.
I'm a very patient person, believe it or not. Once I get grafting at something, I am very patient, and I like the results as well. But I mean, I took some stuff that was so crusty from this particular same landowner, and it had been recorded in a condition that just said some Roman coins, because you couldn't tell what they were, and now they're beautiful. And I was actually able to, I mean, what I do when I display them, because they're small, I take a photo, blow them up so they're magnified so people can see them, and they're displayable now. That's how well it came up. So it's really worth a try. The solution doesn't work so good. I'm still trying it and testing it, but some of the stuff has been in the ground.
Yeah, it's trial and error on all sorts of things.
Jim Painting, he's just said he would like to purchase a magnifier like mine and Alex's. Have a look for dental one.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, really easy. If you go on, look at any one of my videos, and I put the same spiel on the description of all of them, of all the equipment I use, and there will be a link to this one. To this
Alternatively, I'm going on big now. This is one of Graham Dempsey's. It's a digital microscope.
Yeah,
so
cool.
You can work with the scale, and the little screen, digital, shows you up exactly what's going on. And it comes with the cleany, clampy thing that I've just shown as well. And I think you can download images direct to PC. So you go on a composite cleaning pencil, you'll be able to find that on there. And I've only got this because he gave me about a year ago for somebody, but I still haven't seen them.
you seen
Because you
Keith?
only
Keith
see him
Ellis-
once a year now.
Keith Ellis has put, Lady Martin, you look a little like Marty McFly from Back to the Future films tonight. Thank you. Well, I'll take that. It's been a long
I've
day.
also got a calendar that Graham sends me every year of dogs having a poo with a view. Fantastic. Look at that one there. Have you got
Very
all
niche.
again? It's like a Grand Canyon type poo. There he is.
Oh, that's very smart.
There's a good view. February.
No.
Where are we now? No, what? It's hilarious.
It's not.
It is. May. Look at May. Oh, no, it's June.
Oh, that's
isn't it?
lovely.
June. Oh, what a lovely dog. A red setter having a poo. Fantastic. Adrian's not here to lower the tone, so I've got to do it myself.
Yeah,
sadly.
you're doing it for. I thought we were going to have a very sophisticated evening tonight.
No, not at all.
I should have bought a fine wine and sat back and smoked my pipe. Anyway, can we say some hellos? We've got loads. We've got Philip Wills. We've got Andrew T. We've got Stephen Brain. We've got Mr. Tetris. We've got Stephen Bates or Stephen Bates, Dean McAvally, Charlie Dreamer, Jim Panting, Craft 63, Nick West, Ava and Fisa.
Donna, I've got to stop you there.
Okay, and you can't because I haven't said all their names.
You've got most of them people's names wrong.
No, I haven't.
It's
Ellis,
Dean, who's your daddy?
I know.
It's
You're a terrible person.
where there's a will, there's a way.
At Will Wayne, Ian Greenall, and
Jim Painting.
Jim Painting,
You're getting them all wrong.
Wayne Maddox, David Show, Derek Showen, how's Ange, Derek, Paul Tongue, Jacqueline Walker.
You can't ask a question and carry on without
Nick
having
Berry,
an reply.
Michael Jarvis, Philip Wills, Gareth Howard, Martin Heyman, and I'm still going down. There's been some lovely comments for you, Alexander, in the chat as
Oh,
well.
that's very kind. Thank you.
Yes, there has. And
how's
if anybody,
Casper, by the way?
I know one or two people asked about his YouTube channel. If you look at the bottom of the screen, just go on YouTube and look for Holt's Hammer Sagas, and you'll find him there.
Yeah, I've been a bit lazy recently. I haven't been putting out. At the moment, I'm only doing about one or two a month, but I'm keeping them. I mean, I set myself quite a high bar, and sometimes I go out and find a couple of really nice things, and I just don't even really.
Quality over quantity, sir.
Well, in a way, bringing people back here means I worked out. I can, if I find 4 or 5 really good things, and I can talk about 2 of them for 3 or 4 minutes each, then it makes for about 25 minutes of video, which doesn't have to be padded out with too many boring finds. It's good to show a little bit of rubbish, but people's attention spans are very short these days, and you've got to be jumping around a bit. And if you're just digging holes, and you're like all of us all the time, and part of the reason for not putting out something every week is if I don't find something that week, there's no video. Yeah. And there was one chap who, when I was having a really good run, who said, you can't possibly find stuff like that every week. It's not possible. But it's not often like, I go out for a week, I make a video, go out for a week, make a video. I might have 3 or 4 really good days back to back of 4 videos. That's 4 videos. That's a week of 4 videos in 1 week. And then you might have a period of a month and a half and you don't find anything. But then you've got those backed up that you can just gently release every 2 weeks and you've covered yourself. But to some people who aren't thinking properly, they say, well, you can't be doing that every time you go out. Well, it's not every time you go out. It's 1 in every 10 times you go out, if you're lucky.
We said this the other week, didn't we? That it's like the people who believe that the characters in Coronation Street are actually real. You're creating your vlogs for an audience. You want it to be a good experience for the audience. You can't create it out of air. We're all detectorists. We all have the same joys and we all have the same problems. I mean, I have been out for about since the middle of April. It's been too hard. It's not worth digging it.
Yeah, there's not. But we can't. I've often thought about, if just for the sake of a decent video, of tailoring it slightly, and actually people won't have that. And quite rightly, if you're pretending, if you're going out for a day of detecting, they expect to see your day, whether it's good or bad. If they want to watch you, if I can get maybe 10 minutes of footage and bring people back and do 7 minutes here, and then a little bit of just walking around and finding junk, then you've got your 25 minutes. But I think quite often, if someone starts their video going, this is a culmination of 3 different, these are 3 different days all tied into one video, people's mindsets are already, mine is sometimes going, I'm not. He's already told me that it's taken 3 times for him to go out to find whatever is going to be.
You do that sometimes, though, and you are honest when you say,
yeah, absolutely.
I have, and
I think quite often it really is, because I have literally finished. I've been out all day and not found anything, until that happens to all of us all the time. The last half an hour, it's like fishing. The flies suddenly rising and the fish are taking, and you have a field day. But that's not enough to make a video. No. But if I go back to exactly that same spot the next time out and continue where I left off, rather than going to a different part of the country and a different part, then I think that's easier to tie in than I haven't found enough in the last 3 weeks, so I'm going to cobble together 3 different sort of.
It goes back to the old saying, doesn't it? You can't please all of the people all of the time.
Well, this is it. It'd be nice if we could do the cobbling stuff together. It'd be a lot easier. And actually, I'm going to have to start doing that, because I am finding in fields I've been on for so many times, only, and I say only, I'm very lucky to have found anything, but only 2 or 3 things each time, but in that field.
Yeah.
And I am going to have to be honest and say, by the way, this is not happening in one day. But there are 7 brilliant finds.
But you are very good also at doing demo videos. I mean, you did a brilliant demonstration of the composite cleaning pencil. And you have just done some videos where you actually just do like a school or something, if you like. You're educating people, and people do like those as well. You know,
they do quite like. I haven't done one with just the brass one yet, and I'm just working out the best way of doing it and finding a couple of coins to do it. And that's the next one that I will do. I'm quite looking forward to doing
that. Made me brave enough actually to go and buy one. So I did actually buy one. And I was a bit scared of.
They're quite hard to set up, those type of videos. If you're going to do it properly, I don't have a particularly good setup to have a camera like that and a camera running the whole time with the right light and your hands in the right place to be doing it. And then the other thing is that you can often be there, as you well know, for half an hour scrubbing away, and you've got to go through all that footage. And of course, but that's just to do a tiny bit. People don't want to watch you doing that for half an hour. So which bits do you keep and which bits? It's quite a tricky way of type of video to do if you're going to do it well.
Take the compliment. You do what you do very well, and I think the comments in the chat show how much people appreciate what you do, Alexander. I've
just got to say hello to Liam in the chat. I don't think he's watched before, and that's Liam who found that beautiful gold bracelet.
I saw that. I saw a picture of that. Incredible.
That's
incredible.
Blown your mind.
Well done, Liam.
Is it very bendy, Liam?
Was it bendy, Liam?
Don't try.
It looks very soft, doesn't it?
I've got another question for you.
Looking at it.
Yeah, it was bendy when I found it. And I had to put it back.
So on the screen, just to interrupt, Pimp My Staff has said, I found it. Does anyone have the date or episode he was first on? Please, not seen it. If you search on YouTube for Alexander von Westenholz, The Big Detecting Show. So just put that into the YouTube search. Alex von Westenholz, The Big Detecting Show. Alexander, you can say how it's done properly. But if you do his name and The Big Detecting Show, that episode will come up and you can click on it.
I might watch it again as well, yeah.
You were good. You'll be better this time because you're that much more experienced and you've got a much better interviewer this time.
Hi Shane, I did ring you back, but you didn't answer.
But Alexander, you are now.
I've got questions for Alexander, if you don't mind.
Here's a whisper of 10,000 subscribers. Can I just say that? A whisper.
Yeah, no, that's quite I'm looking forward to crossing that. That should be this year. Couple of good
try it?
videos. A couple of good videos, and that kicks in quite quickly. But you know, it's
Shall we try and put a shout out in the community now? Pass it on. Subscribe to Holzhammer Sagas on YouTube, because quite simply, I mean, there are some brilliant people out there. Miss Detector is fantastic. She does absolutely wonderful videos. I'm a huge fan. I am a huge fan of Jelly's videos. All the guys from Dragon Detecting do great videos, but I don't watch all of them all of the time. I watch yours every time they come out, and that's
you're only saying that. Before the show, you told me, you said, Dave, I've had to watch loads of his shows bit by bit today, so I know what I'm on about.
Oh, God.
It's the quality.
What do you guys think? I mean, there's a lot of people. There's always been a lot of people doing detecting. Loads before me, loads after me. I feel I sort of snuck in the middle about 5 years ago, and there's still, I think the more the merrier. That anyone doing a metal detecting video, our videos have got a chance of showing up after theirs, and someone might watch ours from theirs. So, I mean, I think it's brilliant. I think it's interesting that no one's we're all keeping to the same format still. Rather, I'm really surprised that someone hasn't come up since I've been properly watching, to do something completely different and not just.
Ellie's a different.
Big detective show.
Yeah, exactly.
But Ellie's a different, because
for those of you who want
to
watch the original episode with Alexander on the show, it's actually, for those of you who've been watching us for a while now, we used to air via the Peaky Finders channel. So if you go onto the Peaky Finders channel, you'll find it on there. Hello also to Barry Mansfield. He is the organizer of the dig where Liam found his gold bracelet last week. His bendy gold bracelet that he stretched and then gave to Barry. He's the Shropshire and Shrewsbury metal detecting group organizer.
Which Shrewsbury, Dave, or Shrewsbury?
Shrewsbury.
Is it okay?
Depends. Yeah, depends which side of the border you're from.
Adrian, he hasn't got a clue how to speak. I don't know how he'd say it. I've got a couple of questions for you. The first one: are you going to any rallies this year?
Well, I think Detective, as we were saying earlier, is down in Hertfordshire again.
That's correct.
I've got nothing against them. I like detecting, but I do like detecting by myself. Yes is the answer. I'm not against the rallies. I just haven't really got my head around all those people.
The thing is, with the rallies, as I've learnt myself, there's a lot of people who want to come and say hello, just because they watch you on, not a fan thing, but it's a bit more real life when you get to speak to somebody firsthand. And there's a lot of people who you've got 9,000 subscribers. There's one or two of them, I'm sure, that like to come and thank you in the flesh.
Can I help you in your stand?
Yes, certainly.
I'll do that.
Anybody can. Everybody can.
It's really good fun. I mean, I went in at the deep end. I'd not been to a rally before, and that was, I think, Detectival was literally within half an hour's drive for me, and that was 22 when it was on the airfield. That was, and I thought, gosh, can I actually detect properly? I mean, I've been detecting for 30 years, can I detect? Am I any good at it? Are people going to look at me and think, oh my God, she's hopeless? And then when you go and see what everyone else is doing, and like you, the crowded fields, the idea of people everywhere was very scary. What's really funny is you can go to a field that you'll be the only person on it. That's the weird thing.
That's where you'll find gold data, isn't it?
By lunchtime, pretty much everyone's cleared out. It's so quiet in the afternoon. It's great. And you can just detect on your own. Anyway,
on a Sunday morning, because everybody's still peed from the night before.
Hungover. lots
You
of
you have to
people
come
are
to
asking
Detectable.
that-
You have to at least once.
I'm a non-drinker, Dave, so I'll be up.
No.
I'll
I'm
be
not
up
coming. Not
before
talking alcohol. You have to experience the magic teapot.
Oh, the magic teapot is wonderful.
It's a
just
big wooden
it's
structure,
coffee
which has been created by this gent from Glastonbury. And basically, you go in, you buy a mug, and you can have as many cups of tea, coffee, whatever you want for free for the entire weekend. And it's just so relaxed.
Yeah.
And originally, they were open for 24 hours, and they were playing music 24 hours. You can go and pick up one of the guitars or a lute, and just play away to your heart's content, get them singing, and it's just the most relaxed, chilled, fantastic atmosphere I've ever experienced at an event.
Really?
With a cup of tea.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's not all chaos. It's quite fun, and it's actually quite nice to see what the traders have on offer as well, because obviously you only get to see what is already there. Really, you only get to see what's in the magazines, and there are so many other things that you can buy, and there are coin dealers there are people who sell artifacts. I mean, you are a coin collector, aren't you?
Well, only to the extent that I keep pretty much until recently when I've been doing my eBay thing.
I was going to ask you about your eBay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't. Well, coins, yes, I suppose. I don't know an awful lot. I mean, I'm not a numismatist, but yeah, I do have a growing collection of quite nice coins.
It's always nice.
Well, the thing is that what were you going to say about the eBay first?
Well, you started to venture into eBay, and I hear you talk a lot about, I'm going to put this one up on eBay, and thank your buyers. I mean, a lot of them must come from your community, because you're thanking people on your programs. I call them a program; it's like a program, but you're thanking people, and I think that's such a nice way to do it. And
people have been really generous. I tipped my toe in the water and thought, what if I had sold the odd thing I found, the odd hammered coin, or the odd bit of Roman brooch, or whatever it was, but something that I'd found on the video. So everything that I've sold has been something that I found on that video or the video previously. And I just thought, well, I'm not going to try and get cute or clever about this. I'll put them all up at 0.01p and just see how it goes. And if the worst comes to the worst, and I end up selling a nice hammered coin, which is probably worth, I don't know, let's say for argument's sake, 9-10 quid for a couple of quid or £1, then bad luck. But then the odd one, a nice Roman coin, which probably has a face value of, I don't know, 3 or 4 quid, a Constantinian Follis or something with Sol Invictus on the back, something really wonderful, something, 1700 years old and absolutely beautiful, but no real value. I mean, they dig up these by the thousand in North Africa and places, but to find one here, I mean, someone might be generous enough to pay 20-30 quid for it. I mean, I've been really lucky. Whatever that goes for, and sometimes I do this quite reluctantly, so someone's bought a hammered coin for 75p, I always put another Roman coin in. Always. I have to have a real look at if someone's been generous.
That was actually
really
mentioned by
Roman
one of our
coin.
viewers who's bought a coin off you called Andrew Taylor, Andrew
yes.
T, from Canada. Yep. And he said you sent him an extra coin and he was very thankful of that.
Yeah, good. I think he bought a Theodora, and I enclosed another one of a slightly different Theodora, which I had. I mean, I will tend to give coins that, duplicates of ones that I have. I mean, and if I find something really wonderful, no, that's not going to go on eBay. That's, obviously, but it's just a way of helping out with the channel, and it really has.
Funding your many
really good.
microphones.
And then it's what?
Funding your many microphones.
Run free. Hello from Australia. It's 5:30 a.m. in Australia. Wow. And raining a bit. Perfect. They don't have any Roman coins in Australia. Only 5 British ones where he lives.
Well,
we need the rain. It's rained a bit here today, but nowhere near what we need. It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. And loads of people have asked how Task is, how Task is.
Oh, Task, come here. Task was really sick. I mean, proper sick.
Yes, I know. I know he's poorly.
I've always brought my terriers up to be able to be handled by the scruff of the neck. So if you see me grabbing him, he gets very jealous. Yeah, he's really well. He used to come out with me all the time, and now I can only really take him on the land that I grew up on and neighbouring farmers, because he's going to run off and he'll come back when he's good and ready. But if I'm anywhere near roads or livestock, there's just no way.
It's a terrier thing. I mean, you're lucky that he does come back to you, because I mean, some of them are naughty.
No, he will. But when he was little, he stopped really close. He was really good fun, because it'd be nice that he comes out with me. But
that instinct to go off and hunt.
Yeah.
So do you still do?
It wasn't me cake dealer. My daughter had ordered a takeaway. Why she couldn't have the boiled eggs that I made her, I don't know.
Have you got some food on back order then when you finish?
No, I've had boiled egg and brown sauce butties for tea.
Yeah, nice.
And I made my daughter boiled eggs, but she decided she wants a takeaway. She's 17-year-olds.
I mean, it's not very challenging for your gastronomic adventures, is it?
Beautiful boiled eggs.
Nick West has said, Adrian, all is forgiven. Come back and bring a gag. Look, it's all gotten too serious for Nick West.
Sorry, Nick.
We haven't got spin the wheel. So, okay, then, I'll give you one.
Easy now, Tiger. You've got a husband.
I won't mind, but I am, spoken for. I am like you. I detect on my own a lot of the time, most of the time. I am in the field. The field is empty. What is the maddest thing that has ever happened to you when you are in a field? Because I have been shot at. I've had a mad Irishman pop up from nowhere, looking for some lost keys in the field. Just all kinds of mad things just happen when you're in a field. So what is the maddest thing that's happened to you in the field?
God, Donna, nothing quite that exciting happens to me.
Just me then. Of course it's just me.
No, yeah, probably just you. I'm sure there would have been things. I have had. There is a place I go which had slightly mad horses in it, but even then I've got quite used to them, and they've got quite used to me. But I didn't really. I mean, I didn't grow up with livestock, and the livestock does faintly freak me out. But the cattle in some of the places I go, and the horses are absolutely fine. But I can't think of anything.
I mean, I because I'm near Newmarket, I detect a lot near horses, and
of course you do, yeah.
They tend to be very inquisitive, and they will follow you. But they just
if they're race horses, they're more highly strung. I mean, then you've got to be.
They can kind of stick their necks up and prance off a little bit and get overexcited. I mean, most of the time I try and keep a rail between me and a horse or an electric fence, but it is difficult. I mean, you say with you detecting around livestock, electric fences is a problem. And you've managed to tune it out a little bit now, haven't you?
Well, God, there are certain places. I mean, I wish I could. There are certain fields when the constant ticker of that dais. I mean, I have got used to it, but I've got my feeling is if it's really constant and it's just going tick, 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 every time that you really are going over a decent signal, if that's coinciding with a proper bit of interference, that's not going to come through.
No, it doesn't.
I have got better. I can ignore it slightly, but some of my videos, you can hear it, just constant chatter. I have asked them, and I don't think it's a big problem. If for just a day or two, I could just have that turned off completely. Because there are certain areas which are going to be really good, which I can't hear. You're not going to get that tiny wisp ever. No. If you're too close to a defense and you can't notch any of it out. The day said they say there's a I don't know. Do you do frequency shift and stuff? I didn't find that.
I do if it gets difficult, and it does help, but not with the electric fences. It will help with overhead cables, but not with the electric fences.
And some days,
I think that's partially because you're getting a current through the ground as well with an electric fence.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
Dave, what's the maddest thing that's ever happened to you in a field?
Detecting, Dave, not no other hobbies.
Oh no, don't go there. You never ask me that in a general question. No.
I've been electrocuted multiple times. I've fallen in rivers. I fell down a hole last year. In fact, we've got the video here of me falling down a hole. Let's have a quick look at that.
Yeah, have a
Where's
look
that
at
one?
that. Oh, Jeff Cox is in. Hi, Jeff Cox.
We've got we like fails on the show, Alexander. So every time we've got somebody's done a fail in the field that's been caught on camera, we generally.
Gareth Howard has said, I've heard on the grapevine that the lady said that Adrian has now been sectioned.
Where's that one
Sorry. Adrian, I think Adrian had it last week in the titles.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, I've come on tonight and he's moved everything again. He does like up there. It is.
So the trouble with coming on digs with people and the dance to where they're going is you fall over in a ditch and you're climbing barbed wire fences, dicky eye.
I've just gone down into the brambles.
Fucking hell. Go back.
Dave, what was it? Just a sort of...
Let's go to that field over there, Shane said. So we went to that field over there in a massive roundabout way where we had to circumnavigate bad terrain. And just as we got to the last bit, they went out. Oh, I tell you what, the worst one I have done is my lad keeps going on. What are they called? Ministry Detective Dig in Cumbria last year. We're walking down, a load of us, to this field that's been open for the second day. And I tripped over and landed in a woman's bum. My lad like that one.
My cousin was trying to be really smart at detective a couple of years ago, and I was walking. We were walking along the road side like a lane, looking for the field gate, and I said, I'm done. I'm kind of going in here. And he's like, oh no, there's another way through here. Anyway, about half an hour later than me, he appeared on the field, just hair sticking up everywhere. And he's very posh, my cousin. And he had tried the shortcut and he did actually fall in a ditch. And I was so sad that I wasn't there because he couldn't find the field gate. So he thought he'd have a shortcut through there. Everyone's done it. Out here in the fens, I think you'd get a bit more than you bung for. Anyway, Stephen Brame said, my sister lives in Royston and I go down quite a lot. It would be great to join a group down there. Do you know any detecting groups in your kind of area, Alexander?
No, I don't. I don't think there's anyone proper local to me that does it. I mean, I see groups of people in the odd field, but not. There doesn't seem to be many people doing it around me.
Yeah,
at all. There's a couple of fairly strict farmers who do farm a lot of the land. They just don't want anyone on them. I mean, I really do feel. I mean, I am very lucky because growing up on a farm and growing up with my neighbouring farmers who are my age, who have gone on to take over the farms, I do have places I can go, but a lot of the places have been done for, a lot of the really good fields have become very, very quiet. But it's where I grew up. I like being on them, so it's all good. But
they do come back to life, though. I mean, I think somebody said to me years ago, if you leave a field, in fact, it might even be in John Lynn's Norfolk Wolf book, The Advanced Detecting. Worms do actually move things around, and I know that I've left certain fields. So one of my particular permissions, I've got kind of 3 areas that are just full of paddocks, and I call it upper, middle, and lower. But I can't get on those. The horses are rotated, so the grass has time to recover, and it'll be recovering for at least a year. But then there are horses back on it.
It is odd on pasture, isn't it? I mean, I don't know if did you see that ring I found?
Yes.
I found quite an important ring, and I did find that was a bit of a wispy signal. It was deep. It was 8-9 inches, but it is a big ring. So I didn't expect it, but that made a sound which I'd been over that bit of ground a lot before. Yeah, and I just thought, how have I missed that?
Yeah,
it wasn't. It's just strange. It wasn't obvious, but it wasn't. it wasn't missable either by any means. It wasn't, or shall I, shan't I, do I have time? Can I be bothered? Go on. It wasn't like that. It was definitely dig me, with no doubt about it. Yeah. But why on that day was, I mean,
I think that's one thing about the dais that probably beats the nooks is the dais does have those very enticing signals that you can't leave. The nooks has, it's a positive signal, it's a bit of an iffy signal. You're happy to walk over it sometimes, but the dais will say no. There's
a certain signal with the dais. I can't really describe it. It's not obvious and it's not a wisp. It's something in between and it's high pitched.
The old Gold Max used to have a squeak, and it was the slightest, like, but you knew it was a deep, really good target, and that's how I found my first world coin. And wow, you know, you don't look back once you've had that, and you don't ignore those kind of signals. And I think part of the reason with the nooks is just the tones. And I know you can change them, but the tones are just, to my ears anyway, are not as appealing. They don't tell me. I don't get as much information from the tones. I think that makes a massive difference. We've got in the chat that Andrew T said, you learn so much about Roman coins and other finds from Alexander. Ellie says, Paz needs an image search like Google Lens. Oh, yes, you are so right, Ellie. At Will Wayne says he's got TC's book on the history of talc. Very good. I don't know if you watch this show at all, Alexander, but there is an ongoing joke with our dear friend Tony Kaywood, who is such a gentleman, but apparently likes a bit of talc. It's banned in most places. But Sussex Searcher is saying the fiberglass pen from Hobbycraft for really.
I've seen people using that. I've not tried that, but I will definitely. Looks good.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people asking questions. Tumblers are good for any of the really crusty coppers. Never used a tumbler. I don't know whether
do you want to put your Roman ones in that, the grotty ones? Yeah, I suppose so.
Not if you've got the later kind of copper alloys that can go quite brittle, you just end up with almost like a bucket of rust at the end of it. I don't think so. Kevin Allen says he loves watching your channel. Philip Wills.
Philip's watched right from the beginning, I think. So thank you, Philip. And he always comments, so much appreciated.
He does. He loves your videos.
He's really kind. I do know he's been. He
likes the length of them as well. Oh, Eagle Eye DJ's in, and we haven't banned him yet. Dave, have you got anything? Oh, Derek said Angie's recovering slowly. Thanks, Donna. Derek, just keep her nice and quiet. Give her lots of treats. Buy her flowers every day, and make her.
Not a dog. Dogs get treats
and a scratch.
Give it a scratch behind the ear.
Donnas get treats as well. Donnas have to have treats.
Donna actually got a wonderful painting today, didn't you?
I did, didn't I? Have you got a picture of it? I sent you a picture of it.
It's on my phone.
It should have been up on my wall by now, but I was late doing dinner, so I had to listen to Sir Stuart ranting about work.
It's a very childish fantasy print, isn't it?
Yeah, have you got a picture of it?
It's cool. Yeah, it's on my phone.
Hold on, I'll see if I can show it to you on my screen. I don't know if I can. I don't know. It's the sort of picture that somebody would have bought on holiday. I don't know if I can make it big enough to show it on my phone.
Oh, yes, look. Yeah.
Can you see it? It's
like the other way. There, stop. Straighten it up. There you are.
Yeah, look, that's quite fun. What's it? What medium is it?
It looks like a watercolor. It's got a bit of glitter on it and a bit of gouache.
Yeah, what fun!
But it's a wizard and a castle and a moon and loads of stars and trees.
Yeah, and it's very jolly.
Did you get that from a charity shop then?
There's a great place called Nexus. really good for upcycling clothes and furniture and pictures. And I bought a pair of walking boots.
Are there any antique shops in Cambridge anymore?
There's still the one down at Mill Road, I think.
Yeah.
But they're a bit spenny. There's not a lot in there. Do you ever go over to Ely, to Waterside?
Well, no, I haven't, but I will do though.
Really?
I haven't for a long time. There used to be an auction house there as well. Rowley's used to be in Ely, didn't they?
Yeah, they've still got an auction house. I think it's Brown's, but Waterside Antiques. Waterside Antiques have got loads of new dealers in.
Oh, right, how interesting.
The last time I went in, they had a lot of really nice.
Dave's eyes are glazing over, Donna.
Yep. Sorry. And the best deals that I've got recently are Long Melford, the mill at Long Melford. There's an old like a corn warehouse with one of the big jutty out winches. But at Long Melford, that is absolutely phenomenal. Crazy. You need a day for that, and they have proper antiques in there, and the pricing is not too horrendous. The Waterside, nearer Cambridge you are, the more spenny it gets. The further away you get, the better pricing you get.
You'd love
very good.
I have one or two things to read out. A few people have asked what the stuffed bird is behind you, Alexander.
I knew we were going to get onto taxidermy at some point.
It's a blackbird with a white bib.
All right.
And it's called a ring ouzel.
So somebody did say that. So well done to the person who spotted that earlier.
It's quite a rare migratory bird. I've not seen one alive. Not that one. And I think they come from the south every summer and move almost up to the north of England and Scotland. You get them in North Wales as well, but you'll be lucky to see one. And yeah, that's just a very good one. But they're a blackbird with a bib. Someone's going to correct me on that and they're saying it's not a member of the thrush family at all. But that's definitely what it looks like.
Matt Kent's been to the Suffolk Archaeological Recording Foundation charity event at Ipswich today, and there were some brilliant speakers.
How was it? Because I couldn't go, unfortunately, because I forgot to sign up.
And Adrian said, "Where's that stuffed badger that you promised him?" He sold it.
He's around the back somewhere. No, I still don't have it. Still don't have a stuffed. I do have a stuffed badger, actually. Can get you one.
You had
Adrian.
Where's Stephen?
Adrian likes badgers.
He said it was nice to meet everyone. There's a conversation on that I don't understand. All right, sorry, I've gone. There's so many people. There's so many comments in the chat tonight. Stephen Brame said it was nice to meet everyone. I didn't know what he was talking about.
When we were at Detectable Deer. RCM.
That's hours ago. Oh, Shane's
months ago, not hours.
Yeah. Anyway, you've got more questions, I know, because you said you had one and I interrupted you.
He said there were speakers on Rendlesham, West Stow, and medieval coinage.
Oh, see, I would have loved that. Who spoke about Rendlesham?
I could do a talk about Rendlesham, but it won't be about the archaeology or the dogging. Don't know anything about the dogging.
I would have loved to go. The trouble is I get so busy and then I get distracted and then I forget to sign up for things. If it's not on the calendar, it's not happening, unfortunately. I had to cancel something last week because I got distracted by something else. And I hate it because it's so good to go and like touch base with people. You must find that, Alexander. Like if you're a detectorist on your own, you're kind of isolated in your own bubble. Every now and then it's nice to know that you're not the only weird freak out there, you know, that somebody else shares.
Alexander is not a weird freak.
But we all are a bit. We all have this passion for something that not everyone in the world understands.
Yeah, true. But a lot of people do understand it, though.
What do your friends and family think, Alexander?
They're all quite. They're interested in what I find, definitely. But I'm sort of rather indifferent, really. I don't have any friends that I grew up with or anyone who I know does it. I'm the only person who does it from my sort of core group. I met people through it, but I don't know anyone who sort of I don't think they're not really indifferent, I would say. Oh, look at that.
That's my picture.
That's rather lovely. How much is it? How much do you want for it?
How much? I'll take £1,000 for it. It cost me £5. No, I'm not selling it.
Donna, that's very charming.
It's in a huge frame. It's got about a 4-inch border on it, matted border in a great.
It's rather inviting. It's definitely got something about it. You can something you can look at for hours.
A little bit sort of 80s, early 80s kitsch, I think. Sort of stuff I liked when I was at art school. Couldn't leave it behind for that.
No, you couldn't.
No, Matt was saying.
In effect, you actually bought it for me, didn't you?
I did not. I also bought a pair of work boots, like walking boots for detecting. So that was.
Rendlesham in Context by Christopher Scull, a consultant archaeologist and honorary professor at University College London and Cardiff University.
And I'm being a complete Philistine. What happened at Rendlesham?
I
think he's just talking about the archaeological sites there.
There's a big important archaeological site at Rendlesham, Saxon site
massive,
at Rendlesham. Yeah.
And the scene of an alleged UFO activity in the early 1980s.
There was somebody.
But that was another life.
I listened to.
Did you know that, or have you just read it, Dave?
No, I know that. I've studied it extensively.
Are you into UFOs?
I used to be one of the lead researchers in the UK of that and the paranormal.
Seriously? Gosh.
If you look for Phenomena magazine, which is a free online paranormal magazine, I was co-editor, sub-editor for the first 60 editions.
Yeah. So where are they? Why have we never met any of them?
They're all online. If you go on my YouTube channel, there's a file
no, the aliens, not
the aliens are not online. Dave,
if you go onto the Big Detecting Show YouTube channel, there's a playlist called Paranormal, and there's a lot of TV work that I've done on there.
Oh wow!
Well, the one where they say, "Shall we turn the lights off?"
And I go, "What for?"
Because our ghosts only come out at night when it's dark. Mine don't.
What are you doing that for?
My best one is here at like 11 o'clock in the morning. The Dark Knight says you're going to be detecting with him in a few weeks, possibly Manticore versus Manticore. Is that true? Jason?
Me?
No, Dave.
Me?
Yeah.
Right.
He's quite handy with that machine, old Jason. He knows.
He is.
Right. North Wales Metal Detecting. The Soil Sisters. I have a group, if you find it on Facebook. They have a weekender on in the North Wales area on this solstice weekend, 21st and 22nd.
I think I'll be there for that. I'm up there that weekend.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to go and mix with the Soil Sisters at solstice in Wales. That could get fairly troubling for you, Alexander.
No, it's their event, so they'll be very sober.
Yeah.
I won't be able to get there until late Friday, though, but I'll be there late Saturday or Saturday afternoon. So get yourselves on that if you want to find out more.
Yeah, good.
It wasn't Britain's Roswell, Derek. Britain's Roswell, you can either look at the Berwyn Mountain incident or the Aberystwyth incident, and Fire in the Sky was over in America, a gent called Travis Walton, Matt Kent. See, UFO law there.
There's a lot of it about.
Dave, have you seen anything?
Yes.
Yeah, have you?
Yes. I don't know if it'd be classed as alien activity or anything like that, but I've seen lights in the sky and things that could be quite easily experimental aircraft and such like. So, and that was more. I've got a partial book written on it, so yes, I've got lots. I've got lots of talks. Sorry,
I said cool.
I've got several books.
You must see a little bit where you are. I mean, I'm near, I used to live near Lakenheath. I live near, obviously, Mildenhall Air Base now. So you can't really tell if it's UFO activity or not, because there is a lot of strange stuff going on there. So, and I know that my dad used to work on base, so I know that there are things that we're not supposed to know about going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So you do see lights, and I mean, especially coming home late at night, if we've been out and we're sort of early hours in the morning, coming across the fen back to Soham, you do see things sometimes that you can't explain.
And that's not because of the old.
No, not if I'm driving. No.
Just to let you know again, because it's very, very close to the end of the show now. In fact, we'll overrun a few minutes.
Well, Alexander,
but the Soil Sisters weekend, if you go on to North Wales Metal Detecting,
yeah, good. Well, they're in the same area.
Soil Sisters
count me
Facebook
in.
group.
I'll see.
Yeah, look it up then, Alexander. Don't forget the Soil Sisters Northwest Metal Detecting. Yep.
Soil Sisters Facebook or North Wales Metal Detecting, or contact Sam or Nikki direct, and they'll be able to point you in the right way.
Very good.
So, Alexander, it's flown tonight.
Well, thank you very much. That was good fun. Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you again.
Everyone,
and
click like and subscribe.
Yeah,
to
click
our
over onto
yours.
YouTube. Holtzhammer Sagas, as you can read at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, let's
and getting closer to that magical 10,000.
Yeah, I was hoping to have something on Friday, but I think it's going to have to wait till next week at the moment because I've been a bit busy with other stuff. And I'm going fishing. I'm taking my annual fishing holiday on Sunday.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, let's hope that you are charmed and you catch.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. It'll be good fun.
Are you trout fishing or?
Yes, trout fishing.
I know you do trout fishing.
Yeah, it's good fun. I'll enjoy it. Not very good at it, but it's fun.
Well, yeah, but let's hope we catch a whopper.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
And we don't mean a burger.
Or you can catch
Alexander, it's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been really good fun. Thank you very much, both of you.
Yes,
Donna,
and thank you to everyone for joining us.
See you
pleasure
soon.
As ever. And Adrian, we'll be back next week.
Thank God.
We have several guests lined up for the coming weeks, but I haven't decided who's going where yet because I've got a few plans. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to run out with 2 adverts because I forgot to play one at the start of the show because Adrian moved everything. Have a great week, everyone. Alexander, thank you again.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. That was good fun. Thanks a lot.
Brilliant.
Thank
and
you.
Good luck if you're out over the next coming of the weekend, everybody. Good night.
Good luck, everyone. Good night.